Right, so that's it from the kickboxing. Now off down the hall to see how another one of Solent's combat teams are getting on.
So, we've seen the ins and the outs from the kickboxing, and we've heard how it differs from other sports. But what about judo? Peter Boniface tells us how he thinks his sport compares to others.
I mean, karate, fantastic sport, really, really good, lots of agility, lots of discipline, and many of those aspects are apparent in judo as well. But I think what people gain from the judo is they love the feeling of a big ippon, a big throw, or more importantly, something effortless. That they've drilled a technique, they've learned sort of intricacies of a technique, and when you find you can throw somebody much bigger, much stronger, then it's a really good feeling, which anybody of any weight, size, experience can do.
Judo is a very technical sport with big throws and falls all seemingly part of the fun and games in training. The judokas, as the competitors are known, do not bat an eyelid though, but does it hurt?
I'll be lying if it says it would never hurt, because but what it depends on, you start as a beginner, you learn how to fall, you learn how to throw people in a controlled way, and what we were doing earlier is called randori, which is free practice. So the element of that, the main aspect of that is that you're trying to practice what you've learnt, but you're also working cooperatively with your partner. So if you feel that you're getting thrown, you don't resist too much.
Yeah.
If you do resist, perhaps in a competition, then there's a greater likelihood.
With all the technicalities, learning the sport can be a very hard skill to master, let alone teaching it. But Peter ran us through the coaching manual.
So we do lots of uchikomi, which basically means practice repetition of throws. And so by repeating throws, you can do them static and you can do them dynamically. And when you do them dynamically, you get a feeling for what works for your body type against different opponents. So it depends a lot according to the height, the build, how they grip it, etc.
We saw in the kickboxing only 8 people turn up, but for the judo there were only 6. In the recent London Olympics, Great Britain had reasonable success, securing 1 silver and 1 bronze in judo. But how does this affect a small team like this one in Southampton?
I couldn't say for certain with this club. This is quite a small, friendly club, so it's quite difficult to measure what effect has been down to the Olympics. But I think statistically, participation has increased. I wouldn't be able to say with any confidence, but I certainly see lots of kids loving it, and people I've spoken to. I was lucky enough to go and watch the Olympics, and a lot of people that I've spoken to were saying how interested they were when it was on TV.
Okay, so that's it from down here at St Mary's. We've seen Solent's judo and kickboxing teams. Let's see how they get on in the future. Back to you in the studio.